is rolling off me already. Hello YouTube, I'm back out on Dartmoor, just heading up to Sheep's Tor at the moment. I was going to say I've got a new tent. I haven't. It's a very old tent, but I've only ever used it once. I just fancied trying something different again, so I brought this one out with me. I've been to Sheep's Tor a few times now, and I love the area. From the top you can see the reservoir, which is behind these trees here, and it's a lovely tour. I always forget how short and steep a walk it is, so it's quite hard on the old legs, especially in this weather. So yeah, my first trip out since my holidays. Had a nice week away, which was good. A bit tanned, maybe, I don't know. Oh, we have a sheep in a cave. Keeping out of the sun. Alright, you stay there. He's probably thinking, damn, I'll have a nice keep in the cool shade then. And that idiot comes along with his camera. Yeah, he's gone straight back in now. You just see his legs. Gotta get to the top here. I'll come back to you when I find a spot. Right, I found my spot. I think it is the exact same spot that I was camped at the last time I was here. So it's just a nice little patch here, just below the main tour. But I've got views out to church. You got some stone spires there. They're land edging stones. And across the hills down to Plymouth, you can just see the sea over there. And then you got the reservoir right here. And the sun is going to set directly over there. It's nice little rocks featured about. Got my own little rockery, and I'm going to pitch up just about here. It's fairly flat, and I'll have that view out. I don't know if I mentioned it in my previous video. I've always used cotton t-shirts just because I've never done proper hiking and bought the right gear for sweating in, etc. And when I do a long walk or a hot walk, I am drenched front and back. No matter what backpack I wear, I'm soaked. But I got these from Decathlon. A little wet mark now where I just spattered it. They're synthetic, 100% synthetic hiking t-shirts. Quechua. 4 for 28 quid, which is not bad. You do pay a couple of quid for delivery if you haven't got a local Decathlon store, which I don't. But I have noticed even when I'm absolutely sweating, I'll take my bag off and I'm dry. And it's, even if you do get wet, it dries in seconds. It's really, really good. Get yourself down to Decathlon if you haven't got anything similar. You won't miss this on the moors, will you? So that's the tent set up. It's the Decathlon 4 Class MT900 tarp tent, which I did a video on it. If you haven't seen it, I did a full review, but I thought I'd bring this out tonight because a lot of you may not have seen it. It was a couple of years ago now, I think, that I did the review video. I just fancied trying something a bit different. They give you extra guy out points, so you could put a stick and raise it up or just pull it out. One at the bottom here which I haven't done yet, so I'm going to have to do that one. But it comes with these little poles in the corners, so you get a decent foot height at the end, and I think it's 230 centimeters inside, so I actually fit because of that point. Unlike a Lanshan, for example, that has the same down to the ground angle on each side, so it works a lot better. But there's no guy out points on the top here, so you get one on the doors, nothing on the top, and you get these ones on the corners as well. These got toggles, so sorry, I lie. That's the toggle for the door. The guy line ropes have got toggles that hook into these, so you can then pull the sides out, which is handy because when you open this door, obviously you lose a lot of tension, so that side can flap about a bit. So these are the extra guy lines that you get. You do only get 2, which is a shame. They're designed to hook into here and on the other side to help with the wind. We could do with a third one just for the foot guy out loop there as well. So I'm probably going to use just one on there and one on there. I don't really need them, it's not windy, but who knows, it may pick up later. Well, I'll get it opened up, I'll show you inside. So you've got a decent vestibule, lots of space to cook in, store your gear. Obviously it's on both sides as well. It is a 2-person tent. Nice easy one-handed zip. Plenty of mesh, so it's got good ventilation for the summer. Obviously you've got a roof vent here and one on the other side the same. There's a strengthened section in the top here where your poles go into, and these are nice, a little clip. So the tip of your pole goes into there, which keeps the bathtub on the floor nice and flat. And inside we've got this lovely burnt orange colour, which is quite nice. But you can see the foot in there, there's plenty of space. So it just gives you extra length rather than losing it with an angled slope going straight down to that flat end section. Makes a big difference to me. It's got a pocket either side there with the instructions. There is a hanging hook here and one here, so you can either hang your lantern or you could string a line across it. What's quite nice is it's actually a hook as opposed to a loop, which means that you can, if you have something like a Gold Lighthouse Zero that's got a continual loop on the top, that'll only go on a hook, so it'll work on these. It is warm, very warm, there's no breeze tonight. I'm sweating already, I've not done anything. I am absolutely sweating buckets. It's just too hot, I hate it. Whenever I go out it's always stunning, boiling hot. Nightmare. Flextail have sent me out their new micro pump. This is called the Pump Zero. It is tiny, much bigger than my finger. I'm in two minds about this, and I've not tested it yet, so I'm going to try it on my mat to see how well it works. There's a couple of reasons. One is it's not rechargeable. It has a rechargeable battery inside it, but you have to have a recharger at home to charge it. So you can't charge it out with a battery charger because there is no USB-C port or anything on it. You have to take the battery out and then put it in a designated charger that fits that size of battery, which I don't have. So to me, that's a fail. There's no reason why they couldn't put a USB-C port on here to charge the battery that is inside. Maybe it's to do with weight. But saying that, they advertise this at 1.2 ounces. Now with the battery, this weighs 58 grams. And you get this little rubber cover, which is my second concern. So it is a little rubber cover that is to go between the pump and your mat. And there's, you probably can't see this, but it says pump and port, so you know which way to put it on. So this has got inflate and deflate written on it. So in theory, I put pump on the inflate section and then that on my pad. That means it can only fit that size of hole. Again, this is limiting it massively to how many pads or how many different types of pads that this can actually inflate. I'm not sure if you can use it with the other parts that you get from the normal Flextail pump, which I have here. So for example, if I take the end off of this one, push it through there, might just about fit on the end, but I'm not sure if that's maybe how you're supposed to do it because there's no instructions with it. So yeah, big weight saving, 58 grams, but you then don't have a lantern for inside your tent. If we use the Flextail latest model, this is the smallest, lightest one they did. This is 104 grams and it has a light of varying different power outputs on the top as well. So it's 104 grams instead of 58. 58, you've got no lamp, no lantern in the tent. So let's say we put on a, I haven't brought it with me, but let's say we add a Lighthouse Gold Zero, for example. That with a Lighthouse Gold Zero is then 135 grams. So we're 30 grams more heavier than this. And this is rechargeable with the USB. So if it runs out in the tent, I can plug my charger into it and away we go. So I'm not 100% sold on this. I will try it on my mat now, and just see how well it works. Okay, so this is the light tour mat with your relatively standard, straightforward valve. Pull it all the way open to deflate, top section to inflate with a two-way or one-way valve there. Now this rubber is going to just sit on that. There's no seal really. I will try and pump it, see what it works, see if it works. But it's definitely not, because there's a line there. So the only way it's going to work is if I add this into it. Let's see if it pumps it up. Fairly impressed with that. It got to the maximum inflation that it could do within just over a minute. As you saw there, it took me 4 full breaths, and I've got big lungs, to fully inflate it. So this will not fully inflate it. It was just sitting there making the same noise. There was no change in the sound of it, so it wasn't straining any further than it could do. It was also absolutely boiling hot when I took it off. Still quite warm now. So it'd be interesting to see how many charges you can get out of this, but I think the fact that, you know, a multiple use item, something like this, where it is a pump and it is a lantern and it works well, very well as both, trying to improve on it by making a tiny little pump, I don't know. I'm not really sold on it. I don't think it's an ideal solution. It's a good idea, but in reality, you've got to then carry a lamp. So you need a lantern for inside your tent, and I think you're better off just getting the latest Flextail pump. Well, 2 people cycling down this tour. At least attempting to. I'll have to see how they got up there. Right, so dinner tonight, we're going with a bachelor's pasta sauce, chicken and mushroom flavour. That'll be a change. Plus, I didn't go shopping in my usual Tesco's, so they didn't have the sober big pots, they just had the standard one, so I thought I might as well try something different. I'm going to follow that up with a packet of Jaffa cakes. It's a bit of a con now, you only get 10 in a pack. Always used to be 12. Constantly ripping people off. Breakfast, usual suspects, Quaker oats, golden syrup. That'll do me. I've got a couple of snack bars as well, but I probably won't have those. At the moment, I'm just sitting here enjoying this stunning sunset with my beer. It's got a bit hazy now, but it's still very warm, very hot, and still looking very good. I think if anything, the sort of haze will probably make for a much nicer sunset. When it's totally clear sky, it can be a bit boring, if I can describe a sunset as that. But when you've got some clouds or some low-lying haze, it just spreads the light out, so it should look quite nice, hopefully. Not sure if I'm going to get a night lapse in tonight. It's supposed to cloud over later on, but I'll probably try, see how it comes out. Right, I'm going to get my food on and just sit here and enjoy this sunset. hopefully that sunset came out as good as it looked. It was absolutely stunning, so fingers crossed the GoPro did it good. My pasta was better than it looked, apart from looking like baby sick. Actually tasted alright, but it was, yeah, it looked pretty gross. But it was nice. It's warm and it's filled me up, but I've always got space for my Jaffa cakes. So I'm going to eat those. I'm just finishing off my second Stella. I've just been chilling out in the tent here, just watching the sun go down. Absolutely stunning spot. If you've not been at Dartmoor before, if you've not been at Sheep Store, pick a nice evening, pitch halfway up, and you just get a great view and a beautiful sunset. Well, it's been a fairly quiet evening. It's about 10:30 now, so I'm going to get off to bed, and I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. So you have to excuse the state of me. Makeup hasn't been around yet. Yeah, didn't have a bad sleep last night. Not great. The wind really picked up to start raining at one point as well, which wasn't forecast, which is a bit odd. It's all dry now. It's just a bit overcast and misty. The sun is trying to break through, but there's a low cloud, so I don't think we're really going to get a sunrise this morning. But yeah, the tent's just nice and spacious. It is a bit flappy, but I didn't put the guidelines out on the side, which I think I would do if I use this again, just to help with it. But plenty of space, loads of space, really good. I'm going to get a coffee on. So this tent was originally devised by Decathlon to lower their emissions, their carbon emissions, by not dyeing tents. And they've got a pure white range now as well, which has come out a bit more recently. And it's basically to help the environment, because dyes can cause a lot of issues with the environment going into the sewage systems and what have you. But I'm contemplating dyeing it, going the complete opposite, because I like the tent, and white would never be my normal choice. On Dartmoor, it's fine. Yeah, you're allowed to camp. Doesn't matter what you're in. As bright as it can be, no one's going to come over and see you from a distance and come and stop you. But to use this somewhere else would be nice. And it's a bit bright for that. This stands out like a beacon on a hill. So yeah, tell me what your thoughts are. Have you ever dyed a tent before? How did you do it? Because I really wouldn't have a clue. I'm not too sure what colour I would do it either. Camo would be great, but I'm not too sure how I'd do that. Some kind of tie-dye system. But yeah, comment in the section below. Let me know if you've dyed a tent before and how you did it. Because I'm thinking about it. It is a good tent. It is a nice size. It's getting battered a bit in the wind now. It is picking up. But it's stable. And it's spacious, and it's light. I think it weighs 1.1 kilos or 1.2 without the checker poles, but obviously you've got the poles in the foot end, which just gives you that bit more space. So yeah, I might look at using this a bit more often, but in a different colour. So I'm just finishing off my porridge, got my coffee on. This cup, double-walled cup, the Soto, it almost keeps it too hot for too long. It doesn't cool down. I never let my water boil fully. So if I bring the water from home, particularly, I don't need to boil it for health reasons, and I'd filter it anyway. But they always say put boiling water in the coffee and boiling water in the pasta, boiling water in your porridge. It doesn't need to be boiling. Because it can then take forever to cool down and burn you, and also it uses a lot more fuel, so as soon as it starts to steam you can see that that's hot enough, more than hot enough for a cup of coffee, because you're not putting milk into it, so you're not going to cool it in any other way. So yeah, I've had this on the go for about 20 minutes now. It is still absolutely boiling, and the cup works really, really well. It's my new favourite over my Sea to Summit X mug. Night time, no, it's just too cloudy, wasn't it?
No, we had a clearance at the top, a little bit.
There was a
towards there and
more
east-south, I would say.
I saw there was a small section where the stars just sort of break through and then it went overcast again, so I thought, oh, I can't be bothered. But then it rained as well. Did you get any rain?
3 AM, yeah,
so
we tried it without a tent this time.
Okay.
And then, yeah, it was just drizzling a little bit, but it was fine, yeah.
These, when you're in the tent, it just sounds a lot louder. You hear the rain hit and you think, oh, it's pouring down. You get out, it's just specks.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Have a good night. Have a good day.
And you, it's always nice to have a chat with fellow campers when you're out. There was a couple of guys last night. Actually, it was the 2 guys that were on the bike that stopped coming past me. Had a chat for a good 20 minutes or so, and that couple, I spoke to them on the way up. They were camping at the top of the tour. I think it was those that were making all the noise last night. There was loads of music going on, radios and loud talking. And they just had a chat coming back down again. But yeah, it's always nice to have a chat with people and talk about, you know, your night and how it was. But when you're trying to pack your tent up and you've got the wind battering against you, you feel like, leave me alone, I'm struggling here, or give me a hand. No, it's all good though. Anyway, good camp last night. My spot, as always, leave no trace. So I'm going to head off now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, as always, hit the thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. And I'll see you guys on the next one.